Hello folks, I had a few jobs to do today and I thought it would be a good excuse to get the bike out. My fish are out of food, so I needed to come here. It's right next door to Sway Tower, converted pig farm, absolutely brilliant place. If you ever get the chance to visit, I'd thoroughly recommend it. It's called New Forest Koi. It's in the New Forest and they sell koi, so it's not just a clever name either. I wanted to follow on from last time's video about observation. It's such a great day that I thought I'd take a slightly more scenic route home. I'm coming down to this junction mouth and you can see it's quite wide and open. It's only a give way, so if possible, I'd like to keep the bike moving. When you come down to junctions, very often the view one way is considerably better than the other. Once you're happy that you're in a position of safety, that's the view you want first. On the way down to the junction, I'm thinking about my position, my speed and my timing, so that when I arrive here, I'm in first gear and ready to go. I've still got plenty of time to stop if I need to, but my view left shows me a quarter of a mile of empty road, and when I look to the right, I see the BMW coming in. A quick confirmation check left, just to make sure the red arrows aren't coming in, lets me come out through the give way and away from the junction cleanly and safely without inconveniencing the driver of the BM. It's all about making progress with safety, and not being stationary in the road keeps me a lot safer. Overall, on my journey from A to B, I'm much quicker over the ground because I'm not having to stop everywhere. I want to see and be seen here, so this position presents the vehicle to the oncoming traffic and lets me have a good look round the lorry in case the driver is behind it and steps out into the road. The early observation gives me safety, view and control. Just up the road, I want to turn left, and when I see this sign, I know I've got 80 to 100 yards to go until I reach the junction, so I want to start positioning my course in towards the near side. How far in will depend on the type of road and how likely you are to have any sort of near side danger. Any of these entrances could cause us a problem, particularly with something coming the other way. The sign showed me that I'm on the way down to a small crossroads, so the possibility is there for potential danger from one or more of 4 different directions. I can use this deceleration time to get my positioning, my speed and my gear right to keep myself safe whilst I make the turn. By taking the time to get my speed and gear right, I can take the bend safely under drive, under control and on my own side of the road. All I have to do then is power it and accelerate away from the source of potential danger at the junction. Don't forget the golden rule of observation: whenever you get a new view, look as far into the distance as you can and then work back towards yourself. This great little place is the village of Sway. Mentioned in the Doomsday Book, and like a lot of ancient villages, it's based on one main street and definitely wasn't designed to handle the bulk of traffic that we have on our roads today. Before we reach the village centre then, let's have a little think about who we're likely to meet. It's a bit off the beaten track down here, so it's more likely to be local traffic. I can see the shop where the parked cars here are on the left, and this driver's obviously looking to see if he can park right outside. I can see that he can't do it, so I've stopped well back to make myself very visible while he makes his mind up what he's going to do next. I get moving again as soon as I can, but you can see I'm keeping a good safe distance from him. Him doing a U-turn in front of me is certainly a possibility, and knowing that he wants to go to the shop, I'm expecting him to either pull in and stop or look for somewhere where he can turn around. I've had to drop a bit of speed because of him, but now he's out the way I can power back up, and actually I can use this situation to my advantage. I had to come to the offside because of the parked cars, and with no oncoming traffic, I can hold this position and extend my view down through the left-hander all the way to that white house. I've got a good view down the offside as well, but there's a small blind spot caused by the cars and I can't see all the road surface yet. There's a couple of people walking on the left-hand side down by the parked vehicles. You'll see as I move up that I lose that near side view, but I gain by changing to an offside view and I clear the blind spot so that I can see all of the road surface. I'm going to go for a mid-lane position here to equalise the danger between the parked vehicles and the possibility of any pedestrians coming out, and also all these private entrances down the right-hand side hedge. A much better view of the road surface, and I can extend my view down along that near side footpath to well past the white house. That situation repeats itself here, but you can see how good observation and good positioning lets me hold view and carry speed safely. I'm looking underneath that van to see if I can see anybody's feet in case the driver's there and he might step out into the road in front of me. With the sun on my left, I'm also thinking about the shadows, and if Hank Marvin's there, he's going to cast one on the road surface for me to see. Once I clear the van, I can come back to my own side of the road, and I can still use the sun and look for any shadows coming out of the driveways on the near side. You can see the road surface is a little rough as I come into the right-hand bend, and I can see these parked vehicles up ahead. On the far side of the white one, I see this vehicle coming out from a private entrance on the offside. Although he's got plenty of time, he stops in the road though and waits for me to come through. I was intending to give way to him, but once he stops I can do a lifesaver, thank him very much for his courtesy and keep the bike moving. The immediate danger for me is anything coming out of these near side driveways. I'm keeping a good eye on the road surface on the patches of light looking for the telltale shadows, and all I need to do then is take a mid-lane course to equalise the danger. Best laid plans and all that. You can see that this next section of road through the tunnel of trees is mostly in shadow, so you see I've moved my position out a little bit more towards the crown of the road. It's very easy to let your concentration lapse in places like this. It's in the middle of nowhere, it's very quiet, but I need to make sure that I concentrate as much here as anywhere else on the road. As I come up towards the end of the village, I can see the 40 limit, and look out! It's those tricky conditions again, dead straight road in broad daylight. Now there's a couple of cyclists coming in, followed by a green van, and I get this horribly wrong. I think he needs to drop a couple of miles an hour and wait till I've cleared. But as you can see, I need to do a good mirror check and some firm braking, as the other drivers decided it would be far better if we hit each other head on. I can only apologise to you all. I don't know what I was thinking. I ought to be in prison. That's okay. All joking apart, that could have been really nasty. And if you see a situation like that developing, get on the brakes early and keep yourself safe. The other good thing about stopping where I did was it gave the van driver the chance to end that manoeuvre without just pulling back into the near side when he could well have been alongside the cyclists. Right, get your mind back on the job then. And although I'm not turning right on this junction, I want that nice early long view. I can see for well over a quarter of a mile it's clear. Before I pull out though, I need to check left and just make sure that if there's any inbound traffic, nobody's overtaking and going to put me in danger. Once I've cleared it, I can go straight through the giveaway and power up to accelerate away from that area of potential danger. Something that I've been asked about from time to time is where do I position when I go over a blind brow? Before we go whopping over the top into the unknown then, let's have a little think about it. Pedestrians are advised to walk facing the oncoming traffic. The other obvious danger is traffic travelling from the opposite direction that chooses to overtake as it's coming over the brow towards you. Personally, I take this course slightly to the near side of the centre of the lane to equalise the potential danger. All I need to do then is adjust my speed accordingly, and Robert's your mother's brother. This one actually isn't too bad, it's fairly gradual. Some of the railway arches though are very steep and you get no view whatsoever. With any of these situations on the road where view is very limited, go in slow and come out quick. Now, I've got a memory like one of those metal things with the holes in that you drain the rice off with. For those of you that are blessed with good recall, you might remember me saying, look as far into the distance as you can and get as much information as you can about the road, traffic conditions, and anything else which is likely to affect your ride. Scan everything you can see. I'm looking across at the 1 and 2 o'clock positions and I'm just getting movement. I'm not sure the camera will pick this up, but I'm getting what looks like a couple of vehicles travelling together, and then a bit further back another vehicle, and roughly the line of the road. It might end up as information that doesn't get used, but I know I'm coming up to a junction shortly and it might affect what happens when I go out to join the other road. This is one of those situations where you get that initial view and then of course you might lose the view. All I got really was just movement and a bit of colour. But I know there's vehicles there and I know they're heading down towards me and that we might meet up somewhere in a minute. When I pick them up again, depending on where they are, I can decide then whether they're going to form part of my riding plan or whether I can just ignore them. I think the 2 white cars here were the ones I was seeing. I can't see the third one, and as I come up to the giveaway, it's all clear for me to just go straight out. Just down the road, after this double bend system, I want to turn left down towards Wootton Bridge. So I'm going to start planning from now, having a good look behind me and positioning in towards the near side as I come round the right-hander. I want the earliest possible view of the junction in case anything's going on there which might cause me a problem. Everything looks okay at the moment until I get into the deceleration lane. Have a look down to the left at 10 o'clock position and you can see that white vehicle parked on the road. Time to start planning then, and getting my speed off early will control any following traffic and put space between me and the situation. Gives me lots of time then to weigh it up, position the bike so that I've got view and decide what I want to do. I already know that there's no oncoming traffic, so a quick lifesaver lets me get to the offside of the road and clear the parked car as quickly as possible. We've had this conversation before, but in the bottom of hills you will very often find three things beginning with R. Roads, rivers and railways, and this one's a river. The triangular warning signs tell me that there's a bridge, the road narrows and it's down to a single track road. The other important thing though is the little belt of trees on the right hand side, and there are gaps in it and I can see the road surface through the gaps. My view improves as I get closer and I'm looking for any signs of movement through those gaps. Positioned in towards the near side, I'm extending my view all the time into the right hand bend, and you can see that I clear the bridge before the oncoming traffic reaches me. Dead straight road in broad daylight? Well, yeah, but this is just some early observation. At the end of this piece of road is a T-junction and I'm going to be turning right initially, then straight away there's another T-junction and I want to turn left. Let's get as much information as we can then, and straight away I'm getting this car at the 10 o'clock position coming in towards me. Looking right to the 2 o'clock position, I get these two vehicles also coming down towards me and the junctions. The junction mouth is going to be clear by the time I get there, and our friend across to the left is still a long way away. As I come through the giveaway, I can see the two vehicles travelling in from the right, and again they're a long distance off. So I've got plenty of time to go straight out through the giveaway and carry on down towards New Milton. The early observation helped me plan early and just made life easy for me, didn't it? Somebody asked me recently if they should still be positioning in the lower limits. This is a 30 limit. Let's have a look. We've got this parked car with oncoming traffic, and you can see I'm moved in towards the near side. I can see this vehicle moving out of the car park from the garden centre, so I'll move out towards the crown of the road and then back again because of the large camper. And it's back out to the crown again now for the concealed mouth of this road junction. Normally in town we probably wouldn't need to position so extremely because the speed's low, so there's no need for the extreme positioning to obtain view. But we do need to position for safety, and you can see even in this 30 limit I'm moving around from well into the near side to well out of the crown, and if that's the right place to be and the safest place on the road, that's what I'm going to do. On my way into town I can see this guy in the pale coloured jacket on the pedal bike in the cycle lane. I'm just going to hang back a bit. We've got a couple of junctions coming up and I'm not really sure what he might do, and you can see good move, wasn't it? He wasn't really paying attention to what was going on and he just ran himself out of road and swung out into the carriageway without checking to see if it was clear first. Now I'm in town, he'd be a good one to keep an eye out for in case I have to stop anywhere in the road. When I need to equalise the danger, I just take the speed down a notch but keep the bike under drive for stability. That way it's ready if I need to brake, or when I'm ready I can just put the power back in and just come back up to road speed. On the way down to the roundabout I have got following traffic, so I don't really want to be hanging around. The position gives me nice view and I'm looking to time my approach and if possible keep the bike moving and go straight out and away. I'm looking across at the 2 o'clock position and you can see that car 3 gets held up by the cyclist, which gives me clear road and I can get straight out and away from the roundabout. Here's a little clip that will show you the power of positioning, and when I come off the left-hander, looking down the road I can see this van in the left-hand junction mouth. I'm going to go straight out towards the crown of the road to encourage him to stay there. Presenting the vehicle like this makes me very visible, right out in the open and at the speed limit heading towards him. It's a simple move, but a great one. Without being aggressive, I've put into his mind the thought that he hasn't got time to do this manoeuvre, so he stops and waits for me. As I approach the junction, I'm in the safest place and I've given myself options. I've got a good view down the road, great view into the junction where he is, and in my own lane I'm as far away from him as possible. If he does decide to pull out, I've created a lot of space and a lot of time, so I can pick if I need to go in front of him or behind him. I've got the whole of the offside lane to play with if I need a braking area. If you're taking full advantage of observation and position, you can see that it's an awful lot of planning that goes into something that looks so simple. Just passing a vehicle sat in a junction mouth. Much as I love riding the Triumph, it's time to give the Benelli a little outing.
Well, good morning, and today is National Sausage and Egg Bat Day. It's a Tuesday morning and I'm off to Sammy Miller's to meet up with some friends for coffee, one of the best breakfasts in the New Forest, and sit and set the world to rights for an hour or so. Can't be bad, can it? And there is a quicker way than this, but for a commentated ride I thought I'd just come down through this route, which takes me from Lymington down through Ashley, New Milton, and then down to Sammy's that way. So we're in a 30 limit, just positioned for view as I come up over the brow. Nice offside view, didn't get much underneath. I've got the child in the junction here, but she's going away from me on a little scooter there. And as we come down to the traffic lights, can't see them yet, there we go, amber and red. So we've got following traffic, just going to roll the power down, just gently, almost like landing a little plane, isn't it? Just gently bring the speed down, control the vehicle down behind you, and then think where I want to stop. So I'm going to sit mid-lane, good car's length back. Now if anybody wants to get in there, I've got plenty of room to move if it does happen. It's probably quite unlikely. I'm not going to be here for long. The lights are just about to change again now. So just keep an eye on the mirrors. The mid-lane position actually lets me see down the outside of the vehicle behind me, and if you watch my last video with the tailgater guys, you'll know how important that is, that with someone really close on behind you, all you can see is their vehicle. You have no view of anything like a small motorcycle or cyclist coming down the offside and swerving in by you as you pull away. So look at these two guys here, look, what's that tell you? But hopefully it's on behind us somewhere. As we come down to this brow, I can see both of the pedestrian control boxes now, nobody at the crossing. Just watch underneath this vehicle. I'm just going to just drop back just a touch. I'm losing view, so couldn't see those two coming up at all. Didn't get an underneath view. So we've still got the following traffic. On the way down to the bend, the road's clear at the moment, so I can just move out round this drain and out towards the crown of the road, extending the view quite nicely down through there. And I've got this a very good view, haven't I? I've done the between this one and the curb. So with that van there, the door's open on the side of it, so the guy's probably here somewhere. So is he going to come across the road from the opposite direction? We'll just drop a couple of miles an hour until we're happy. Then we can just power back up again, watching the junction on the near side then. Pedestrian and coming up towards the brow, so get the near side view again. She's happy wherever she is. And I'll just hold this near side view, so looking well into the distance, and you can see there's two sets of traffic lights and both of them are red at the moment, so no rush to get there right this second. You can see our friend here is bang on the speed limit. Watching, there's a vehicle there just coming out from the offside coming towards us. And just on the way in, have a little think about this. There's probably, I'm guessing, 3 cars maybe, and including the grey one in front, probably 4 cars between me and this set of lights. So we should easily get 4 cars through the lights. And again, I'm just slowly controlling the traffic down. I don't need to stop, but I am just going to keep clear on the box here. So the guy in front of me is going to be turning right. The traffic from 12 o'clock is held, so he shouldn't be delayed in the road. I'll just quick bit of power just to get through the traffic lights here, and I'll just roll power off, ready to stop if the lights change, and to pick it up. We have to run faster than that, madam, this is a Benelli. So we've got following traffic through the lights. Looking ahead then, as far as you can see, there's the roundabout here. We're going off at the 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock position. And we can see the guy in the white cap there. He's fairly elderly, thinking about crossing, isn't he? Looking across them, the Mini holds the blue car. Just let the silver one clear and the signal on to turn to the right. Watching the cyclist. He looks like he wants to come across the junction now, doesn't he? Not moving out to position too much yet then, until the bus is cleared. And I've got a good look down this line of traffic. Okay, once I'm happy I can just start to move out once the white one's cleared here. We'll back up at the speed limit and I can just move out towards the crown now, just to extend the view so I can see both the control boxes on the pedestrian crossing and there's nobody there. Quick look into the junctions to make sure there's nothing that I need to be worried about in way of emergency service vehicles or anything that could be coming my way at speed. And equalise the danger between the parked ones and the oncomers. And then once I'm clear I can just move in. I'm looking at this van here, parked on the pavement, and the view down the outside of the white van shows me the red traffic light. So again, let's control traffic down behind us. Just bring them down nice and steadily. It's a little bit too close. I'm just going to wave him off a little bit. They actually got an indicator on to turn off to the right here, and I think that's why they are pushing, yeah, quite so close. So we can see that traffic on the opposite end of the traffic lights is now stopped. So anticipating the lights changing, then just having a good look. Use this time to have a really good look around the bike, make sure that there's no cyclists or moped riders, anything else that's come up. Just wondering, it's a possibility whether this is three-way lights off the housing estate junctions as well. Let's answer that one then. So we have got following traffic. The guy behind me is stopped. I don't know if you can see him there in the mirror, a good distance back. And there's probably half a dozen cars on behind. So we're protected by the one behind. So right, final look around the bike as a lifesaver before we pull away. Nice and quick away then. Have a quick look into the junctions again, in case anybody jumps the lights. It has been known to happen once or twice in the history of mankind, hasn't it? And again, away from the queue. We've got these junctions. There was a car waiting to come out of the DIY place there, and we've got the junction. So we need to be well away. Make yourself very visible. And I saw a van, white van, side on. That's areas just coming out, but heading in the opposite direction. Just watching my speed a little bit here. I don't know if you can see in the mirror, but just the fact that we're just quicker away. I haven't accelerated stupidly or anything like that, but the following traffic is a long, long way back now. So we're just going to signal to the right, let the speed run, and have you got time to do it before that car? No, we haven't. Not really, have we? So we'll just, oh, that's extremely kind of him. Thank you very much. Just thank him for his courtesy. I'll put money on it, that's a biker. So as we go over the brow then, we're back at the speed limit. I was just going to say, I've just timed that nicely for him to clear with me not having to stop, and then he flashed me across. So far into the distance, as you can see then, we've got a pedestrian with a dog, and it looks like Pup's on a lead. We've got these two stationary vehicles parked off the road here, so we'll just give them a little bit of a wide berth, come out to mid-lane. Can't see any signs of moving, there's no exhaust or no feet underneath, nothing indicating that they're going to be pulling out like indicators. Once we're clear, I've got no following traffic. I can move out towards the crown and just extend the view around the left-hand bend. You can see it's a little bit overcast-ish today. There's forecast is for a possibility of showers, but the road actually is pretty good. Once we get the view past the parked cars, we've got some oncoming traffic, so I'm just going to straighten this bend out a little bit anyway, and in doing so it moves me away from the oncomers and it puts me in this position where I just extend the view nice and early down through the right-hander. Just checking the mirrors then, no following traffic. Just running a couple of miles an hour over here. So still no following traffic then as we prepare to power up, so I'll just take a lower gear so we're a little more responsive. The Benelli is not a particularly oh sorry, yes it is, fast and powerful bike. So just knocking the speed off nice and early to cater for the one in front. Nice steady approach. Looking across, I saw one from the left coming in with an indicator on, dark coloured car. So I want that nice early view to the right. So nice and steady, completely clear. Look. Now we go then. Just cancel the indicator, put it back on again now. The reason I cancelled it and put it back on is because if I'd left it on, it probably would have self-cancelled and I wouldn't have had an indicator on. Wake the donkeys up a bit. Young Williams here. Blimey. So someone's wet the bed here or something. It's normally the first one in. And here we are, Sammy Miller's Motorcycle Museum in New Milton.
I don't know if you do this as well, but I really enjoy these weekly bike meets. I think it's brilliant that you can get together with your mates, sit in the courtyard here with your bike and have a bit of breakfast. And very often, if the weather's good, we'll go for a ride out somewhere afterwards as well. There's an absolute wealth of knowledge amongst the guys that turn up. And bike-wise, everything from vintage to this week's crutch rocket. Speaking of crutch rockets, I need to take mine home and do some more video, otherwise I won't have enough footage to finish this film. If not before, I'll see all these reprobates next week.
See you, buddy.
What was that expression again about dead straight road in broad daylight? We'll have a quick wing back through New Milton again and see if we can get home without dying horribly. This one's only a giveaway, so let's time our approach then, get the nice early view to the right and straight out and gone. I'm looking to go straight to speed, but I can see the bin lorry and also the oncoming car, so I just want to time my arrival to let the car clear before I move out to the offside of the road to pass the bin lorry. Do you remember that white van in Sway and I said look for people's feet underneath it? I can see the guys are there, so I keep a good distance from the lorry in case one of them steps around the back of it and out into the road in front of me.
Looking down past the parked vehicle, and we'll just roll a couple of miles an hour off, just let this situation clear up, where we've got this blue car slowing down opposite the parked car, and we can just put the power back in. Nice and steady down through here. We'll just wait till the little grey Fiat's cleared. Blue van's pulling away, so good job at I just hung back just that second because I couldn't see that that van was going to move off there actually. So we'll just put a signal on to turn to the left. Good look to the right from here. It's just going nice and steady before I lose view. So I know that there's this blue car and then the road's completely clear. Look, cancel the signal. I'm going 12 o'clock on the roundabout. And signal to leave, and then think about where you're going to stop. We've got this long queue of traffic. It's unlikely that we'll make it on this change of the lights. Now the second set that I can see down there, look, I've just changed to green, so I'm anticipating that this set of lights are going to change fairly soon now. We are going to be stopped for a little while. There go the lights, but we can at least count to about 12 I think before we actually move anywhere. So now have a good look around the bike, into gear, and we're ready to go. So not expecting to make it on this change of the lights. I think we'll be stopped, so need to start thinking if that happens where we're going to stop. There's several entrances here and they're marked up with keep clear on the road surface, so if we don't get through, which okay, there we go. So let's think about where we're going to stop. The decision's been made for us, and so we'll keep this bit clear, park mid lane, just watching the vehicle on behind. But he's fairly close, isn't he? So if you look at the second set of lights, see they've just gone to green. So where the car and caravan and the white tranny van is, it's all going to be moving, and ours are probably just about to change. So this is the time to have a really good look around the bike. Let's make sure we've got nothing that's going to cause us a problem. And anticipating them, we're going to go into gear. So into first gear, there we go. Final look around the bike, lifesaver then, and away we go. Let's keep up with the traffic at a safe distance. And again, it's a good possibility in there that these have been green for a while, so I might not make it on this change. So ready to stop. I've got no following traffic if I need to brake. Excellent. Good look in the mirrors then, I've got a look in the junctions, and then up to speed. So no following traffic, we're at the speed limit. Watching the cars down ahead then. One of these three may well put a right hand indicator on, and the reason I say that is Tesco's is in the next junction on the right, and you can see, yep, there we go, car 1 and car 2. So I'll just roll a little bit of power off. It's just not going too fast, let this situation clear up. Just a touch of gentle brake in there, and we've now got a change in the road surface. We are back to some wet roads, which means that my braking and stopping distances are going to be affected. Something to bear in mind if I need to anchor up in a hurry. So good look around the bike. Good look into the junctions as we go across, and this vehicle's got an indicator on, so we'll just move out towards the crown, roll the power off, let them clear, and then we can pick up the drive, get the bike stable on this wet road surface, and then just a little bit of gentle braking, and let's just ease down and let the bus come through here in the widest part. Just going to come to the furthest point on the junction. I've got a couple of cars on behind so that they can come in as well. Very welcome. Quick shoulder check then. I must stop saying quick shoulder check, it's a good shoulder check. Have a good look, make sure. Watching this vehicle reversing out in case he keeps going like that. I think if I was that van driver, I would have been hand on the horn there, because he obviously couldn't see. It would have been nice just to let him know he was there, wouldn't it? And a lot safer for the van driver and for me. So again, nice early indication. Just some gentle braking. We'll just let this black car clear. I don't want to be diving across. See, there's a drain cover there. Let's see. I didn't want to be rushing that in the wet over that smooth drain cover.
And as the onion sellers say in France, that's shallot. Hope you've enjoyed it, and hopefully you've learned something. I'll see you next time. Enjoy your bikes and stay safe.